Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be counting down the top 10 zombie movies of all time. So grab your popcorn, turn off the lights, and get ready for some undead action. Starting off at number 10, we have Dawn of the Dead. The blood-soaked tale of 4 survivors who find temporary shelter in a massive shopping mall while hungry corpses roam the earth. Romero's blistering follow-up to his 1968 masterpiece adds a dose of pitch-black humor to the zombie genre, and the result is a bona fide cult classic. The shocking special effects by makeup wizard Tom Savini set viewers' stomachs churning when the film was first released. But today it's the somber, melancholy moments, like actors Galen Ross and David Imge sitting motionless in bed together, each staring hopelessly into space, that land the hardest.
They're coming up.
Coming in at number 9 is Night of Living Dead. George A. Romero's landmark classic rewrote the book on cinematic zombies, and it continues to influence and inspire legions of new movie makers to this day. Shot with the raw intensity of a documentary, Night of the Living Dead effortlessly blends nail-biting horror, thoughtful social commentary, and a powerful political subtext to brilliant effect. Dwayne Jones, the film's unforgettable star, remains one of the most charismatic leading men in horror history, and his resourceful characters set the standard for all future zombie fighters.
What the hell are you doing?
Next up at number 8 is World War Z. Adapting Max Brooks' best-selling novel for the big screen was reportedly a difficult experience for all involved, with numerous delays, budget battles, creative problems, and reshoots plaguing the production. And yet the finished film turned out to be an intensely compelling summer blockbuster, muscularly directed by Mark Forster, and grounded by a genuine movie star performance by Brad Pitt. Combining military action, globe-trotting intrigue, and zombie mayhem more effectively than any installment in the Resident Evil film series, World War Z occasionally feels like Tom Clancy meets the living dead, and that's meant as a compliment.
11, 12. Trains.
At number 7 we have Zombieland. 2009 was a banner year for the undead, with well over 20 zombie films released in quick succession, including noteworthy titles like Wreck 2, Dead Snow, and George Romero's swan song Survival of the Dead. But it was director Ruben Fleischer's debut feature Zombieland that captured all the attention, and for very good reason. Although the plot isn't particularly original, the film's whip-smart script, dynamic visuals, jubilant performances, and celebrity stunt casting made Zombieland one of the most entertaining studio movies of the decade.
I was never a very good practical joker.
So do you have any regrets?
Coming in at number 6 is Dawn of the Dead. Foreshadowing later DC cosmology, 2004's Dawn of the Dead is Zack Snyder's feature film directorial debut, and the script was written by James Gunn. Dawn of the Dead retains the suburban shopping mall setting, but increases the intensity, making for a more action-packed movie. It's focused on a small group of survivors who must learn to trust each other and use whatever is in the mall to fend off the undead horde outside their gates. This Dawn deals with redemption. When faced with the end of world, does atonement even matter? Or would the apocalypse offer one the perfect chance to save each other? Despite being overshadowed by the rest of Snyder's filmography, it remains an incredibly rewatchable zombie flick worth checking out today. Taking the number 5 spot is Wreck. Like the handful of other viral outbreak movies on this list, the Spanish horror hit Wreck doesn't exactly follow the rules established by George Romero, but it incorporates enough of them to warrant inclusion here. Plus, it's just plain scary as hell. Blending found footage, demonic possession, and zombie-style contagion in a creepy cocktail, Wreck tells the nightmarish tale of a TV reporter and her faithful cameraman who follow a crew of firefighters and police officers into a labyrinthine apartment building in Barcelona. Once inside, the film becomes the cinematic equivalent of a walk-through haunted house attraction, with one expertly timed jump scare after another assaulting the audience, until they're left wrung out and shaking. At number 4 we have The Return of the Living Dead. When a strange toxic gas is accidentally released in the basement of a medical supply building in Kentucky, a group of nihilistic punks, a jittery mortician, and a few dopey warehouse workers find themselves battling hundreds of zombies in director Dan O'Bannon's deliciously gruesome horror comedy, propelled by a killer soundtrack of hits from bands like The Flesh Eaters, The Cramps, 45 Grave, and The Damned. This eminently quotable zombie pick introduced the world to the idea that zombies' favorite food is brains. The film's young cast is uniformly excellent, but its veteran character actors C.L.U. Gulager, James Karen, and Don Calfa who truly shine on screen.
All the skeletons with perfect teeth. I'm going to ask you a serious question. How many people you know die with a beautiful, perfect set of choppers in their puss, huh?
Coming in at number 3 is Shaun of the Dead. When a genre's popularity wanes, spoofs and satires inevitably appear like vultures overhead, signaling that death is imminent. But director Edgar Wright's hilarious and heartfelt zom-com about two lovable slackers fighting to save their friends and family from an undead apocalypse not only celebrated the zombie genre, it reinvigorated it. Co-written by Wright and lead actor Simon Pegg, the movie's clever script is chock full of knowing references to George Romero's frightening filmography, and the performances across the board are superb. Not since Mel Brooks' immortal Young Frankenstein has a horror comedy hit its mark this successfully.
What is that? What about yours? Hey? Who died and made you fucking king of the zombies? No.
Taking the number 2 spot is 28 Days Later. Purists will tell you it's not a zombie movie. If they're technically right, they're also totally wrong. Danny Boyle's film about a deadly rage infection reinvented and redefined what a zombie film could be, taking the idea of running infected from Return of the Living Dead and running with it. It's a gritty, gripping work with an iconic opening, as Cillian Murphy's hospitalized Londoner Jim awakens to find the capital city eerily deserted, until it becomes all too clear what's happened to everyone. If the rage infection wasn't perilous enough, Alex Garland's screenplay highlights how the surviving humans are just as deadly.
Are you okay?
And finally, at number 1 we have Train to Busan. 4 words. Zombies on a train. Korean director Yoon Sang-ho takes that elevator pitch and elevates it into a gripping, action-packed horror movie, using cramped interior space and moments in more wide-open environments to stage breathlessly tense sequences. Train to Busan zombies are mesmerizing to watch. Aggressive and animalistic, their limbs and spines contorting as they rise up to claim more victims. The result is stylishly shot and pulse-pounding, with a host of memorable characters, particularly Ma Dong-suk's hulking hero Sang-woo. So there you have it, our top 10 zombie movies of all time. Let us know in the comments which ones are your favorites, And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay spooky.